Are we live? Hey everybody, this is Bobby Clue with the Somerset Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce. We've got a new series that we're bringing to everybody today. This is our Chamber Spotlight series. So you may be asking, what is that? What are we doing today? So we're going to go out and we're going to be doing a series of interviews with our 2023 Businesses of the Year. So we had our banquet in January. We had a wonderful collection of businesses here locally that were nominated and that won Business of the Year awards. And throughout the course of this year, we're finding creative, different ways to provide them with visibility and promotion of the good work that they did in 2023. So this is our maiden voyage today. So we're kind of working through this on the fly here. I am at Somerset 106 WTLO radio, and I am here with a whole bunch of people. This is one of our, and we're going to do these in no particular order. This is our Business of the Year award winner in the 6 to 10 employee category, Forcht Broadcasting. So Mike Tarter, President, CEO of Forcht Broadcasting. I know you've got a big tribe with us today. Would you care to introduce everybody?
Well, of course, General Manager Kevin Wilson, Amy Stroud, Senior Vice President, Kate, who has a various sundry list of titles, does both of our radio stations.
The Swiss Army knife of the office.
Exactly right. Utility infielder at best.
There we go.
Of course, Greg Moore, morning show host at Somerset 106.
Yeah, so, I think a lot of these voices we know. We hear them, and the importance for me is that I love the local aspect that you all bring to radio. I think sometimes we take that for granted, but very few times do you have the opportunity to reach out to a radio station and talk to them about different, unique local things, and you're happy to do that. We have Chamber Talk the first Tuesday of every month, Greg, and there's different things that we do all the time to collaborate and to coordinate with you all, and you're always open to those local ideas. And I think that's the background of radio for me. Is that's the important. That's what you get out of this, is that you have a chance to really get involved in the community and make an impact. And I think I've seen that through the last almost 13 years now. But as a Business of the Year award winner, what I want to do is I just want to talk about some of the things that, and maybe you guys can help me with them, some of the things that maybe made you a Business of the Year award winner. So I know in 2023, a Marconi Award. So can somebody tell me what that is and how important it is? I heard it's a really big deal, and that's one of the things that I know that you all were nominated for in 2023.
Well, Marconi Award is one of the highest honors in our industry. And it involves, it's kind of like what you're doing with the Business of the Year awards, but on a national level. And what are the radio stations in communities doing for localism? And that's exactly right. So to be nominated for one of those, to be on the national level, and to know what all these folks do every day, like what the many things that you mentioned, being local as possible, being there when the community needs us, and that's been a great honor to be nominated. That's a handful of folks every year that get that chance, and so
that's not something you're nominated for all the time. It's very unique and important.
You can imagine. Well, you're talking about radio stations, big and small, all over this country.
Wow.
So it was a very big deal, and we hope to be there one day and cut the nets down and bring one home.
Well, that's a great analogy right there. I like that.
Academy Awards of Radio.
Oh wow, there you go.
Think of it that way.
That's another good analogy right there. So it's a big deal.
Yes.
Well, I know that was one of the things that we talked about that you were nominated for, and to even be nominated, is a tremendous honor, I'm sure. So that was a big thing. I know another passion project for some of you all, and Greg, I know you may want to talk about this a little. We do this every year. I come in and we like to talk and advocate for St. Jude Children's Hospital. This is something that you guys have been involved in for years and years, if not a decade or more now. Could you tell us a little bit about this project and kind of Forcht Broadcasting's involvement with it?
Sure. St. Jude Radiothon is one of the things that we do that I am the most proud of. We've just done it year after year. The whole community gets involved. We have guests that will come in the studio with us that will co-host And we raised this big money, man, for St. Jude, and it's such a great charity and a real. I mean, who's not going to be behind every year getting the opportunity to help kids with cancer, maybe help cure cancer? I mean, it's something that everybody can get on board with. So I'm so proud of us for doing that year after year.
And you guys have raised some pretty big money for this over the years, haven't you?
I wouldn't happen to know what over
It's
the
in the
years.
tens of thousands that we've done.
Wow.
And that grows every year. Folks like you, Bob, have been very generous of coming back and guest hosting year after year.
I book it on my calendar every year. I love doing it. And it's important to do things like that. So many things I will do, and some of them I do just out of a sense of duty. I enjoy doing that. I think it's important. And again, who's not, who doesn't want to support curing cancer for children?
Right. If all it takes is to pick up your phone and go doot 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 doot, or to come sit in this seat for an hour and maybe help cure cancer, done.
And that's a big thing. I don't know. I mean, that's your all's project here in town. I know that's kind of, you've got claim to that, and it's something that you've really brought a lot of attention and awareness to. I think in our community, I don't know that if everybody actually knew what St. Jude's did before this. I'm not sure if I did. I know the name, but and as of 10, 12 years, I'm not sure if I actually knew everything that they did. And every year I feel like I learn just a little bit more just through listening to you, and talking on the radio about things that they're doing. And I really enjoy that project. I enjoy learning about it.
Well, just when you think you've heard it all of everything that St. Jude does, they're doing 5 more new things.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just constantly they're doing it as hard as they can do it.
Sure. So the station here, I'm not entirely sure, and Kevin, Mike, you guys might be able to help me with this. 106 has been on the radio for around 20 years.
16.
So 16 years, and WTLO's been around.
Went on the air in 58.
58. So WTLO is a senior citizen now.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. It's really so. And both of those are housed out of this building right here. The transmissions are anyway, and so that involves a lot of things. I know a lot of people on the WTLO side. They know about Dial-A-Deal. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the moneymaker for people, isn't it? I mean, Kate, you do Dial-A-Deal, don't you?
I do Dial-A-Deal on Saturdays, and we have our regular callers. It is every Saturday I'm on there. It's my favorite thing to do. It is like a family, and we get prayer requests. We get, and everybody really comes together. It's not just a buy-sell trade program. I mean, it is like a family, and like we said, it's been around since.
Do you have some favorites? You want to give a shout out right now to one of your favorites on Dial-A-Deal?
No, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I love each and every single person that calls in. I mean, we get to know them, their voices. We memorize their phone numbers, and we can list off what they're selling usually. Yeah. So
it's a really neat. Absolutely, it's a unique project to a local community, and I'm sure most communities have some sort of a Dial-A-Deal. I don't know if they do it as well as you all, but that's still a great way to buy, sell, and trade. I mean, it's something you shouldn't take for granted. But the importance of local radio for me is much deeper than that. It's the connections that you all make in the community and all of the involvement that you actually have at a real hands-on level. It's not just a name with a faceless name, so to speak. I mean, people know every one of you all. Kevin, you're out there talking with these businesses, making sure that there's real value in the ads that you're selling to them, and everything that you do, they know you all. That's the beauty of local radio, in my opinion, is everybody plays their part, and it kind of works out. One of my favorite things, and hopefully we can keep this tradition going, is you all did the Christmas parade. Mm-hmm. You actually did it live on the air. We actually borrowed some talent this past year, so Amy, you got a chance to help MC the Christmas parade. Mm-hmm. That's got to be on the bucket list. I mean, that's kind of fun, right?
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know that Misty was supposed to be there. She got sick, and what a great substitution. We get a pro like Amy to step in to hang out with John Burlew. I mean, what a dream! The dream team. And you guys,
it was great.
I thought it was fun. You know,
it fits so well with what we do with community.
100%.
The Chamber of Commerce Community Parade, and we get to broadcast to our community, so it was a lot of fun. Hope we can keep that up.
Me too. You know, land, sea, and air with things like that. You know, we were live on Facebook that day. We're live on the radio. You know, just trying to broaden our scope of people who hear and get to see that. We've always said if there's a grandmother, for instance, who lives down in North Carolina or Florida or somewhere, and their grandson is in the parade and they can't get here, what a great way, what a great opportunity just to watch it online
and we had
or
so
listen.
many people, if you went back and looked on Facebook, that were commenting, I'm watching from.
Yes.
And where they were watching from.
Right.
So there were so many people outside of Somerset that
Well,
were.
and you've got a ton of other local programming. I mean, obviously, there's Chamber Talk, but talk about some of the other local programming that you all do on a monthly basis.
I do want to give a shout out to some other parts of our team. You mentioned John Burlew.
Yeah.
And of course, Tim Washam. They do our sports. And then Misty Phillips is over at her office and Mike's office. Faith Speaks, Paula McKinney. We also have Gary Daniels and Laura Latham, who help out with Dial a Deal. Cameron Phillips, who helps us on Sunday. So we have some more than just us.
Sure.
That helps put it all the pieces together.
And we also have Chris Phillips and James Taylor for Tuesdays 3
Yes.
and Rakaya Pryor
Rakaya
on
Pryor,
Take
yeah,
2.
that do some shows. Well, those are two little shows that we do once a month. Take 2 with Rakaya Pryor, and then Tuesdays 3, which is talks
Politics and community events and things of that nature.
I want to focus on this banner right here.
Well,
Take a look at this banner. This tells
You know,
a
I'm up
huge
there
story.
somewhere.
You
This
are
banner has been
somewhere.
hanging here for, 14 years? Since
least
the early
14.
days. Every name on this banner represents somebody who was in this studio, live on the air with us. And so this is a really, it's a community.
And we ran
It's a
out of
treasure.
room, so we had to
Yeah,
get another
we're
one.
on our
Another
second
banner.
banner over here.
And so
Is this something that is unique to this radio station, you think, or do other stations do things like? I love it. I think this is a really unique testament to all the people that come in and out of here and that have spent time with you all, and that you have interviewed to learn more about their particular involvement in this community. I know that our Young Entrepreneurs Academy, we usually bring those kiddos in every year, and you get to talk to them. I know that our congressman, the dean, Howell Rogers, his DJ, what was his DJ name? It was Howell.
How HOWL.
So just a really eclectic group of people that are up there, and I love that. I hope that is preserved forever.
imagine this 100 years from now, framed somewhere.
You know,
this is
we're-
a piece of local Somerset history.
let me
right
tell
here.
you, next year we turn 100 years old, Kevin. You know, we're actually going to be putting a time capsule together. I don't know if everybody knows that yet or not, but
I think
was that a slow rollout right there on that?
Yay.
So we're actually going to do a time capsule next year.
just
Those are the
talking
kind of
about
cool
that.
things that, we need some fun things to put in a time capsule.
And the people who've signed these banners, the guests, they are just as much a part of our team too.
Yeah,
because
sure.
It's their stories we're telling. It's their organizations and events that mean so much to them that they get an opportunity to come here on the radio and talk about them and let everybody else love them as much as they love what they're doing. So these
Sure.
people, all of these people, are a part of our team too.
And Bobby, to dovetail on what Amy was talking about, I think one of the things we get to do is to help particularly local nonprofits, get that voice up, because there'd be a lot of ways that a lot of these folks you'd never hear about. CASA, hospice, some of the things that
Sure.
and that's just a couple there are dozens of organizations that we get to help and create an opportunity for, because they might not be heard of unless who's going to promote them. Well, we get to.
I agree 100%.
That's what I try to always say. Our doors are always open. If you're any kind of a nonprofit, charitable, fundraiser, come see us.
You guys have never said no to us. Anytime we've ever needed a PSA or just help marketing any community event, you guys have never said no. And I doubt you ever will. You guys are amazing, and that's why you win Business of the Year awards.
And we also want to thank our partners and sponsors who help make it possible, because we are business too.
Sure.
And so shows like Mid Mornings with Amy and It's Finally Friday and the Morning Mix, we have sponsors, and I have a lot of those local nonprofits on my show. So I'll give a shout out to my sponsor, Dr. Brandy Prather, a pediatric dentist right here in Somerset, because she helps make that possible for us to tell these nonprofit stories.
There you go.
So we want to make sure that we thank all of our partners and our sponsors and the people who again help us get to do what we do.
Yeah. You want to be profitable. I mean, Mr. Fork would appreciate that, I'm sure.
He's happy when you do that, yeah.
Well, I don't want to, belabor this any more than we have to, but I wanted to just take a chance to come in and talk with you all and just kind of say thank you, and again provide some visibility and highlight the people that are winning these Business of the Year awards. They're not, they're deserved, is what I would say. And we're going to find that out throughout the course of these chamber spotlights. We're going to go out and, sure, Forcht Broadcasting 106 WTLO, this might be one of the more visible names that you actually know. But when we go out and we meet a Connor Logistics, or we see some people like that who have won these awards, we're going to really get to know some new people as well. But it's great to see people that have been here for 60 years. It's great to... Mike, you don't look a day over 59, by the way.
Thank
but
you.
I mean, but if it's great to go out and just kind of see the people, hear about some of the things, and again, it's our job at the chamber to really go out and try to highlight and make these Business of the Year award winners, to find more value in that as we go along. And that's kind of what we're doing today. But if people want to find more information about maybe. Listen, I like what I see today. Maybe I want to be a sponsor, or maybe I'm a nonprofit, and I just heard that maybe I can talk a little bit about that on the radio. How do they get a hold of you all?
Somerset106.com, best place, website. We also have WTLOAM.com.
And we also
Sure.
have a new website, fortdigital.com, because we're also a digital marketing group too.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we want to touch on a little bit. Besides the two radio signals, we have a whole digital side. We do all kinds of stuff on the digital marketing, display ads, graphic design, and
You'll build websites.
We build
Website
websites,
design.
so we have a team for that.
That's kind of the new. That's the new norm now, isn't it? That's why everybody's kind of evolved to, is they have to
And
And all of
find that new tool in the
and all
belt.
of that came from a need that we saw in
Yeah.
our communities. Our businesses needed these services. So.
I know we've referred people over here. There's one of the things that our business liaisons, when they go out, we ask about what kind of social media presence that businesses have. Everybody has, one or multiple channels of social media, but most of them don't have a website. Still, a lot of small businesses don't. And they say, oh, I can't afford it. And they don't know that there's more affordable options now. And when they come over here, they know they're going to get a good product too. You're not some guy selling them some, website in the middle of the night that's that may not even have a server in 2 or 3 years, and then hosting. I mean, it's
that's what the clients like. They work with people in Somerset who are just a phone call away.
Yeah.
They could come to the office and talk to us about changes or edits and things like that. So
absolutely.
that makes a big impact.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up too. I'd forgotten about that side of the business, and I appreciate you bringing that up.
Well, I want to say thanks from all of us, for everything that you do, the chamber has done. I mean,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
the partnership with the Somerset Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce is top of the list, one of the crucial things that we have, and we
You're kind. I
we
appreciate
value
that very much. Thank you all.
Thank you for your leadership.
Yeah.
What you do for the community.
Yeah, well, Mike, you're one of the best, buddy. What year were you president of the Chamber of Commerce?
You would have to ask me.
Back in
2004.
2004. It was a great year.
Just the other day.
That was a vintage year, Mike.
It was.
Is what
It's
that
20,
was.
20 years ago.
Wow.
20 years ago this year.
Great
Why are we
anniversary.
talking about that? That's
Right.
There's a good reason we're not.
Listen, guys, I want to thank you all very much for tuning in to our Chamber Spotlight series. We're going to be back later this month. Our next spotlight is going to be with the Master Musicians Festival for Community Event of the Year in 2023. So we're actually going to go to Festival Field and talk to them right before MMF this year. So should be fun. We'll be out in the heat, in the action out there on the field. That one will be next. But again, support local, shop local. We talk about the importance of local all the time. Give these guys an opportunity to earn your business, and we appreciate you guys very much. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
We'll see ya.